Hi guys, I hope all is well. This is a reading that I've always wanted to do, and it's been on the list for such a long time. So I thought this would be the perfect time to do the reading, being that the Renaissance tour just ended. And I don't think it did as expected, but of course it did. I think over 500 million. And I'm wondering, of course we don't know the final number because of the merchandise that's being sold and how they're doing this now, adding the movie that's coming out. And I'm sure that's going to be added toward the total Renaissance tour gathering as well. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the tour myself. I didn't go. Um, the production was out of this world, but it wasn't a typical Beyonce concert. That's all I could say. It looked good. Production out of this world. The production did outdo Formation. The production outdid Formation. But there was something different about this tour. Beyonce was just different. Something was just totally different. I'll leave it at that. So, I want to speak about Beyonce and her record label. This has always been, really interesting to me because she's such a big star now. And I'm questioning really what does she need a record label for? But what I believe it to be is political. Record labels, because she signed under Sony, which is the umbrella company. Under the umbrella is Columbia, and under the Columbia umbrella is Parkwood, which is Beyonce's entertainment company, Parkwood Entertainment. So I've always wondered, what is a record label good for at this point as far as Beyonce? And of course, we know it's opportunities because Sony is such a huge record label. There's so many, Sony is such a huge company overall. The umbrella Sony is so huge. There's so many opportunities involved with that, and involving film and all type of different things. It's such a big company. I think that's why she hasn't parted ways. I mean, I believe Beyonce doesn't see a benefit of parting ways with her record label. It's either she doesn't see it beneficial to her to depart from her record label, or she's scared. So I'm here to figure out which is it. So my first question is, what is Beyonce's relationship like with the executives at Columbia? Angels, what is Beyonce's relationship like with the executives at Columbia? Whoever this is, trying to gather more information here. Right. She's being offered more opportunities That's exactly what I just said. That's exactly why. Her relationship with the executives. It, okay. Sometimes there is clashing with Beyonce in the label. But for the most part, surprisingly, I don't see an issue. Or if there are bad parts, Beyonce is looking at it like, okay, well, I'm being exposed. I'm being exposed to the world. They offer me the exposure and opportunities that I need. And it's straight political. How does she feel about her contract with Columbia Records? How does Beyonce feel about her contract with Columbia Records? I once heard her father say that she made partner with them. And this was years ago. This was so many years ago, guys. She wasn't even fully solo. When I say fully solo, I mean didn't go back to Destiny's Child. She was like, I think she had made, it was after she made the first album, because I believe it went diamond. What is the question? How does Beyonce feel about her contract with Columbia? Okay. Okay. I am so surprised. I don't know why I'm so surprised. Beyonce feels good about this contract. She feels like it's to the best of her benefit. Now, what is this about? Now, we're going to have to figure that out. But the money seems to be... This is the man. This is the man again. There's a man, there's a powerful man at that label. And I think we're getting into a little on the different type. I think we're getting behind the scenes of the music industry right now. So I'll just kick it to you like this. I think Beyonce feels good for the most part about her contract. For the most part about her contract, but there's something in the contract that she doesn't agree with. But it's like, you know how, for example, you start a new job and you're starting all this paperwork and you're reading all this documentation and all that, and there's something in there that maybe you don't agree with. Like, okay, well, we're not going to pay you, you know, $25 an hour. Okay, we're going to pay you $22 an hour. For the Beyonce's perspective, the money isn't the issue. There's something, it's not a money issue. There's something else in the contract that doesn't sit well with her. It could be maybe a time frame, maybe how many albums she has to produce, or something like that. I'm going to look further into that. Spirit, what is in this contract that she doesn't like? What is in this contract that she doesn't like? I wish I knew who this man was. I wish I knew the rituals and the sacrifices that they did behind the scenes. I wish I just knew. I want to know. I'm a magician. I like, you know, I love magic. Okay? Not like, but love. I want to know. Not saying I'm trying to participate, but I'm curious. I read on, spirituality and religions that I don't practice all the time. Okay. So what doesn't she like? What doesn't she like? It's in this contract. What is it? Damn. Just tell me. Total fucking conflict. I hope you all see total fucking conflict, y'all. Like, for real. Total fucking conflict. Here's what I believe the issue is. Beyonce has restrictions. There's this man here, this emperor that showed up on the last question 2. He's somebody higher up, and he's higher up at the label. He's higher up at the label. This is the person that Beyonce works with. Because she's such on a high level, she works closely with this man here. Whoever this being is, they work close together. Like, her own personal whoever, executive. Like, he works with her because of her status at the record label. Whoever this man is. Okay? The conflict comes in. I don't believe it to be a money conflict. I'm not feeling that. There's something else. And it's not only power, because of course Beyonce still has to answer to someone, no matter what. Okay? She still has to answer. As long as she's signed to a record label, she has to answer to someone above her, this man. She may feel like at times he's attempting to undermine her or override what she's doing or what she wants to do. He sometimes does not look at it as a total partnership. Okay, because it's really not a partnership. But because she does have, she worked her way up to this high level of status, she does have more freedom than the other artists at the label. Okay? I also sense them here as well. So, okay, this is what I'm gathering here. Beyonce does have conflicts with her contract. But it's mainly due to this individual here. She has conflict with this individual sometimes. And if Beyonce was scared or threatened to leave, like just let's say she wanted to leave and she was afraid to leave the label, he would be the one This would be this male here. He would be the one to put out the hit. This beyond. He would be the one to be putting out the hits. He would be the one to attempt to, destroy her image or whatever. This would be the male. He's not, he doesn't have their relationship confused. Not saying that Beyonce does. Beyonce is smart. She wouldn't have made it to the top of the food chain being a dummy. Okay? She knows it's not a partnership. However, they have to work together to get things done. Beyonce has to go through this man to get shit approved. Whoever that is. There's been conflict in the past with this man. A lot of it. Listen. I wrote down questions. Now things are just totally different now. I don't even know what to ask. Hold on. Okay. So, knowing what we know now, this male, how does he feel about Beyonce? How does this record label executive feel about Beyonce? How does he feel about Beyonce? He feels like he's as fair as he can be with her. Beyonce requires a lot of control, but he can't give her total control. He just can't. he she just, because there's budgeting that the company has to go through per physical year. So he just can't. Right. He has budgeting per year. And there's certain things that he cannot allow to happen. Beyonce is such a big production. She said her father taught her to never accept no for an answer. Her production keeps rising and rising and rising. Things are getting costly. And this being here has to put his foot down on some things. They still have to make money off of her regardless. That's what I'm saying. The money still has to make, the budgeting money still has to make sense. They still have to get their cut. Shit still have to make sense. Dollars and cents. How does he feel about Beyonce? He feels Beyonce is really strong-minded. I'm getting strong-minded. She's, she's going to go for it. She's going to try it. She's not going to stop. She's going to defend herself. She's going to challenge. Actually, this is what he thinks of Beyonce. She's a beautiful woman. This is a pretty woman. She's a beautiful woman who works hard, who fights hard, and looks good doing it. I can feel him saying, like, yeah, that's why you're here. Like, I can feel him, like, joking with her. Like, you know, I know we argue a lot, Beyonce, but you know, that's why you're here. You're strong-minded. You're beautiful. You're talented. You have it all. And Beyonce, I feel her joking around with him, like, oh, okay, yeah, right, I know that, but can we, right, but I need 5 more million. I need you guys to, I need more, I need more, I need more. I think he does sense in sadness, or he senses something in Beyonce that does want to break free, that does want more freedom. Beyonce wants more freedom. I don't know if it's more like so much the money part, because I'm sure she is paying them a pretty penny. Um, but she wants more freedom to do whatever it is that she's trying to do. I'm not sure how much budgeting or how that's working within the contract, but Beyonce wants more freedom to do something, and she just, they're not allowing that, or it's not a good time, or they're like, okay, well, you pay for it out of your pocket and you recoup however, but you still have to pay. You know, either way, they're gonna get a cut. Sony's gonna get a cut. Columbia's gonna get a cut, and then Parkwood and Beyonce, and then the trickle down, all the people she works with, and things like that, all the people who works for her. So by the time everyone's paid, how much money is really left? After paying for production, hotels for the dancers, choreographers, producers, and understand these albums are getting more and more expensive. Beyonce's not writing these albums. She's hiring, first of all, this is what's happening. She's hiring writers. She's hiring producers. She has to pay the individuals who she's sampling, because she samples so many samples on Renaissance. You gotta pay all these motherfuckers. You gotta pay on the album. You gotta pay for the tour. You gotta pay for production. You pay them the production for the tour, production for the movie, cameras, the attire for this tour was out of this world. Multiple outfits per night. You gotta feed them. You gotta do this. You gotta, you know, shit gets expensive in the tens of hundreds of millions of dollars here. This is why we're talking about budgeting. This is the freedom that they just can't allow Beyonce to have. Okay? Because then they would be losing money, or she would be cooping, you know, would be somehow recouping more than them. They just can't allow that. And plus, not only that, this is what I have seen here. This is only from the perspective of her contract and them working with her on a business level. This is not even the things that the political shit that's going on, like rituals, okay, and other things that she must do, parties that she has, and parties that, you know, she goes to, or parties that she throws, and all this political shit that these celebrities participate in. I'm definitely going to do a part 2 for this, guys. This is 25 minutes. I just got to come up with some more questions, because I finally got a hold of what's going on, because I should have did this years ago, basically. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.